guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're speaking about two modifications I highly recommend you get done on your Abarth 595 or 500 or 695, whatever you have. Two mods to change the absolute sound of your car, to make it into an absolute weapon, to change the entire experience of your Abarth. Two mods you can do to make an overall change. Check this out. Alright guys, so modification number one that I highly recommend you get done is in the bonnet, okay? In the bonnet. It's under the bonnet, okay? And we're talking about turbo orientated pieces here, so have a look. This right here, guys, is your turbo intake hose, okay? This big red piece here. Literally one small modification. This is all silicone. This is from Forge, okay? You can check them out. This is the turbo housing right here. So there's your turbo. This is your intake hose, okay? Where your air intake will come in. This is obviously all still stock, as you guys can see. Your air will come into here, then filter through, cooling, and then into your turbo intake pipe. Alright guys, so one of the biggest benefits of this over and above performance in terms of sound, you hear a lot more turbo. From the engine bay because of this piece that you fit. Okay, I know that when you compare this compared to like your stock standard fitting for the turbo intake hose, there's a lot less turbo sound coming from the engine bay. So I highly recommend, guys, to fit this bad boy. Over and above that, you are also going to get slightly more performance based, just because you're getting cooler air coming into the turbo and probably a bit more smoother with a lot less resistance. So guys, if you want to make your Abarth sound like an absolute weapon from the engine bay, I highly recommend one of the mods you can do that's also very performance orientated is doing this intake, okay, for your turbo. Yes, you can do a Coney filter or an air intake filter that's going to give your engine bay a lot more grunt and a lot more drone, but that's entirely down to your choice. Sometimes, I'm not saying this is, but sometimes these stock fittings from the factory for the air intake actually do you more good. You got to look at a few factors in terms of where your air cone is placed, where your air intake is coming from, because it can actually be bringing in a lot hotter or a lot more warm air into the engine bay, which is in turn going to run the car hotter. Turbos, they prefer colder air, that's why we have intercoolers. Okay, so modification number two has got to be the most obvious one, and that is the exhaust pipe system. Okay, most of these Abarths that come with a stock system, they do still sound very, very good. Get me wrong, but if you want to truly unlock what your car can sound like, I highly advise you get a back system or back box delete. You don't need to do a decat unless you're looking for insane performance changes or ridiculous sound. But guys, if you have a look here, you can see, okay, this is the Y junction. Usually there's a big box over here that comes with the factory fitting. Okay, I've just got literally a straight pipe. Okay, there is a box in the center of the car, and there is obviously the cat in there, which is also still going to buffer out the sound quite a bit. But guys, very simple, very inexpensive modifications you can do, and that's what I love about these cars, is that you can have a lot of fun with them for very little amount of money, if that makes sense, compared to other brands. So if you want to get a lot of bang for your buck, guys, two modifications I highly recommend you get done today if you want to change the entire experience of your driving in your Abarth. So now it's time for me to get out of this car park, because I probably look like a bit of a weirdo standing out with my camera and my bonnet open. But anyways, guys, doing it for you. Two modifications I highly recommend you get done, guys. Please make sure to hit a like and a subscribe, show your boy some support. Let's grow this page up. Till next time.